So let's just say that hurt, lust, greed, backstabbing, violence, cheating, conniving. Let's just say that there was a long table and all this energy set together, right? And there was another energy that sent these energies on assignment to disrupt mankind, to disrupt the human beings, right? Let's just cartoonalize this. If I can just make up a word, let's just put this in a cartoon, right? So each of these entities, each of these energies, each of these spirits, each of these individuals materializes as people, as human beings, right? Now, my point to what I'm saying right now is this. I've never seen a little dude running around with a pitchfork. That they call the devil. This image that they have of the devil, I've never ever seen that image ever in anything less than just a costume. That word that we refer to as demons, these are people. And it just so happened to be people who are human beings that have been tricked or is just living from a carnal state of mind, right? They're living from a carnal state of mind and not pointing the finger, because we all can participate if we choose to, right? So this assignment that all these different spirits and all these different energies are assigned to doesn't care about skin color. It only cares about a mind and a body to use. And that image of the pitchfork is just an image that somebody created, and it went what we call today as viral. So we think of the devil as some little pitchfork dude running around, right? So untrue, so not possible. And it's just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon character. That image of the devil is just a cartoon character. The image of God is just a person. But that's not the extent of God. I believe that the extent of God, in my own opinion, is God being God through the cortex of a human being, meaning through the brain of a human being, through the limbs of a human being, what the cortex, or what our thinking capabilities are able to create from the hands, feet, mind, body, and soul. To me, that's God. And even so on and so on and so on. You got the oceans, you got the fish. There's things in the ocean that we've never even... That part is God, right? But then you have, getting back to what I was saying, then you have this other thing that's going on that's called hate, that's really happening right now. It's hate, and then what's really popular right now is hate, and then the materialistic energy is like really popping right now. And so the materialistic energy is the energy that separates. It's like, if you don't have this, then I can't love you. If you don't bring this to the table, then there's no togetherness. If I can benefit off marrying you, then I'll make a plan to do that. And in my heart, I know I'm going to eventually divorce you once the kids are here. And then I'll go on to live this fabricated life or I'll just go to get who I really want or what I really want. The female-male energy right now is so dominant. And that's what I mean by cheating. I don't mean by somebody going to give their body to somebody else. I don't consider that cheating. I consider that as breaking like an agreement. Like or just breaking an agreement. Like you break an agreement, it can hurt. Like we had an agreement, like we were going to stick to this and it didn't happen. Okay. But the real cheating is what I just described. Moving on. So these entities, this energy, this human being is targeted at the mind. So what that means is it could be your sister always hating on you, always got something to say about you. You always throwing the past up in your face. They used to in church they used to say, and I'm sure they still do, but they would say the devil will remind you of your past, right? But the person that's actually reminding you of your past is related to you. But look how much you've grown. Look how much we've grown. Look how many steps you took in the right direction. Look how many steps we take in the right direction. So who's this devil, this demonic force that causes you or want to keep you in their mind in the same place that you once were? Be careful. Be careful who we entertain, because they can be angels unaware. And then that human being can also be. And I believe that human beings are angels too. I really believe it. If anybody do something to help you out in a moment of you needing help, that's an angel, straight up. If anybody do anything against you or pour water, like my dad used to say, they pouring water on a drowning man. Pouring water on a drowning man. I never forgot that when my dad said that. I'm like, wait. I was younger when I was a little kid when he said, I'm like, wait a minute, say that again, Pop. I'm like, wait a minute. The dude is drowning and somebody come and pour water on him? Like, are you serious? It's like, is this what I'm finna get ready to face when I become a... You know what I mean? So anyway, the moral to my story is, if there's anybody that's on assignment in your life, do everything in your power and do everything that you can to gently, silently move that situation out the way. And I am very, very well talking to myself as well as I am talking to you. We as individuals, we as human beings have made plenty of mistakes, right? Plenty of mistakes. But there comes a time in life where the mistakes get old. The pressure from the mistakes begin to sink a little bit too deep. So you don't want to deal with that kind of agony anymore. And I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with the concept of people not wanting to change. People not wanting to change. People wanting to stay the same. I'm okay with that concept. I'm okay with that action, because what happens is that story repeats itself, and that lets me know that I'm not on a negative, repetitive cycle, so I remove myself. I relieve myself from that situation. See, nobody, I especially, is not the one to try to paint a perfect picture in life, because life is not perfect except for the life that really is. And that's the life that you and I live. And what I mean by that is that we're perfectly flawed as perfect human beings. So look, a man once said this, I heard him say this the other day. He said, just because somebody else has figured out how to hide their bullshit and edify yours, don't mean nothing. Or you shouldn't allow it to mean anything to you, because we're all flawed as human beings. And I think that is the weapon that we have when we come together as men and women, or as friends with the homies, or as friends with your partners, or as friends with colleagues, or whatever. The weapon that we have against anything that is negative is the fact that we are all flawed. And if we realize it and stop trying to hide it, or trying to edify somebody else's flaws above ours, which psychologically diminishes our issues, once we realize that weapon is really usable, then there's an explosion against, there's an explosion, and there's an actual disappearance or diminishing. There's an explosion, a diminish, and a disappearance of all the crap that comes and try to ruin the lives of mankind and human beings. Real talk. I feel at liberty to go ahead and say this. There comes a time in every human being's life to where you want to see what it feels like to just be exempt from every cost of life. Everything that costs anything. Right? Which means that if you have the money for it, or if you have the access to it, it doesn't cost. Like, if the money, let me give this example. If the money that I have is infinity, that means I pay for absolutely nothing. Because the actual bank account allow me access. I could never, a lot of the dudes are, and I can make this example, I'm at liberty to say this. A lot of guys are running around with money in bags and a lot of money on their shoulders. But then, aside from that, you know, money on their shoulders in these videos and all of that. So just so that you guys will know what I'm talking about. But aside from that, there's this thing called access that me and my cousin would talk about every now and then. And this access is where there's no money exchanged at all. It's either favor, it's either given to you, or it's like maybe a card. You never even see money at all. But you in that house on the beach, you in whatever car you want to drive, and all it is was a phone call. You go down there, sign your name, and you pick it up, and you out. As human beings, we all we all deserve and desire to know what that feels like. First of all, we all deserve it. I mean, you get like 80, 90, 100 years maybe out this life, and you're not even young the whole time. We're not supposed to come here to work our brains out in struggle. The experience for this life, in my opinion, everybody can give their, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. But what they don't tell you is that not everybody come here to this planet and live a struggle. Not everybody come to this planet and live a struggle. Who is Porsche? Who is Porsche? Who is Bentley? Who is Toyota? Who is Lexus? Who is Nissan? Who are these people that have these car lots with these names on them all over the world and manufacture all this stuff, right? But the average person have in their minds. So this kind of money is infinity money. You can't. There comes a moment in life, and there comes a time where you can no longer count money. It's just wealth. Who are these people that is connected to these corporations that will never, ever, ever have to sweat for a dime for many generations? Now, some people will say, "Oh man, you gotta get out of here. What you talking? Oh, nobody knows." But that's cool. That ignorance is okay. I'm even okay with that ignorance, because the truth of the matter is that we are out here working on the clock. So I get it. But how dare you, as a human being, have the audacity to even influence the mind of other human beings that everything is a struggle? Because it's not. There's billions of people on this planet that don't know what the hell you talking about. Their college and forget college. All right, let's forget college. That's a choice. Their bank accounts says infinity for many generations. You have no idea. It's like whoever is born will never, ever, ever see the struggles that you and I have ever seen. And there's billions of people on this planet. And I use that example to say, I'm not trying to stop anybody from enjoying their life. I'm not here to stop. I'm not here to tell anyone that they have to work hard. Because the fact of the matter is, it's not true. It's not true. Some of us will work hard. Some of us do. I'm going to give you an example. I passed by a cotton field today. I mean, this was a cotton field for like 20 miles north, south, east, and west. I'll say 10. Literally was 10. This was a real cotton field where they had cotton, where people, like they say that our ancestors or your ancestors or their ancestors was picking cotton back in the day to make the garments and the clothes and things like that we wear to this very day. I passed by on the freeway, an actual cotton field. Where people actually have to this very day, pick the cotton in order for us to wear the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, and even just a regular t-shirt, yo. To me, this is work. We call everything work, work, work. You can have somebody sitting at home in their pajamas. I'm working. Dude, work, or you can have somebody on the beach in a high-rise beach hotel on the phone talking to somebody, telling them to meet at the next vacation, and that's work. So we call work you can just, or you can be in a cotton field picking cotton. Yeah, that's labor. And the meaning of the word, what I found out is what some people wrote in the dictionary was, slavery was, the word slavery means hard labor. That's what it means. So I guess they wasn't referring to like the lynchings, the beatings, the killings, the murders, because slavery is aside from hard labor. Murder is murder. Lynching is lynching. Chopping people's heads off in genitals and all that. That, what we hear about what happened in those days, that's something totally different, right? So let me break down a solution to what I'm talking about. From the very beginning, I talked about the table with evil energy assignment. And what I mean by the table, the gathering of evil energy assignment. It don't matter who it is. It can be anybody in your family. It can be somebody that you absolutely don't know at all. Right? Solution. Solution is love. The solution is love, yo. I'm telling you. The only way to overcome any kind of adversity is love, patience, and knowing when and how to get away. I know y'all can't see me right now. I did this on purpose. The darkness is beautiful too, and y'all know it's true. Sometimes it's okay not to see stuff. Straight up. Then I talked about the connections between the races and the racism and the wealth, and how there's people on the planet that are born that'll never see the days that we've seen for generation amongst generation. They'll never see the struggles that a lot of us had to face ever. Ever. Doing what we love to do. I'm gonna make this a 25-minute video, but and I'm watching the clock. But thanks James Wilbert for the encouragement. But doing what we need to do as individuals. And James, you tell me if you've heard this video. I know this video needs to go viral. A lot of the things that I do should have been gone viral, and I'm calling that in because it just should. I know it should, but I'll check more into that. I've done a lot of things in secret. Like I dropped that video. Like I dropped that post. I can die today. If I died today, I've done more for people and more for just life in general, in secret, than I've ever just done. And I don't even remember most of it. I may have to go a little bit longer than 25 minutes. I'm going to give you one example. I'm going to just give you this. I may have to go 27 minutes. I was in a 7-Eleven and the dude walked up and stuck his hand out. And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? And I dapped him like, oh, it's COVID. I was like, but what's up? Do I know you from somewhere? And he said, I know you don't remember me, but you bought my daughter some shoes. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, what? For real? I'm in 7-Eleven in a line. He said it in front of everybody. I'm like, for real, bro? I've done, and this is not bragging. It's not a braggadocious conversation. This is not what this is about. And if you know, you clearly know that this is not what this is about. I'm talking about the things that we do from our heart for people and you forget about it. The things that we do from our hearts, from people, and we clearly forget about it. And then it comes back to you like that. We all thinking, you look, they what they be saying? I'm gonna have to go 27 minutes, y'all. But what they be saying? Oh, you know, karma, you gonna get. It's like, well, just do good then. Just do good then. Just do as much good as you possibly can for people. And I don't really believe in karma and all of the crap, all that negative stuff. Man, I have a hard time with that. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I have a hard time with it is because you got a lot of people that ain't did nothing to nobody and suffering from different aspects of life. So I'll let that one go. Solution is love. Solution, LOVE, from however you strategize a way to give it. It's love, yo. God bless.